Niggas be going to the corner store and getting white tees, bro. It's just like, I'm gonna throw this on.
If you have to.
Yeah, nigga, I just went to the store, just bought this shit just now. $6.
Like, bro, it's like, it's a white tee, bro. Like,
I need a shirt today.
My other shirt was fucked up.
bro.
I didn't peep.
That's what niggas do, bro. Be
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck, I need to get one for the day.
Yo, you
So
know
how
this-
long do they last you? Like a good white tee?
Oh.
I just upgraded my
Like a
standards.
year.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Damn.
You think this is clean?
Yeah, to
I had
me.
this shirt for a year.
Oh damn.
Yeah, you see, like,
Then how
Yeah.
you washing it though?
Yeah, you wash it. Yeah.
But like, okay, how many uses does it?
No.
How many uses does it get before a wash?
Yeah.
Or is it like
One.
Yeah,
I only wear my
facts.
shirts one time
One,
before
and
I
you
wash
take it off, you
And I wear
gotta
this
wear
shit
it.
almost every single
Okay,
week, bro. No
but do
bullshit.
you like bleach it? Like what's
Yeah, you got
You gotta
You got bleach.
hot water bleach.
Gotta bleach.
Okay.
But I was
hot water bleach.
one use is
Yeah, you don't
kinda
wash
great.
your whites on hot?
Bro,
Nah.
normally you wearing a white tee on a hot day, but why would you put that shit on again?
No, but that's the thing.
That's
I
gross.
think for me it was more, or at least how like my system was. Is like it's the smell test.
It's the wrong system.
It's,
See? It's the wrong system.
You
look,
don't do
that for
it's
white
the look
tees, bro.
and the smell
You don't
test.
do that
You
for
know
white
what I mean?
tees.
This is what I was
White
telling
tees,
y'all, bro.
I feel you. I'm doing better for myself now. I got the value pack. You feel me? I got plenty
I got
of
the
white
value
tees now.
pack.
I don't gotta worry. Like, damn, I'm only gonna have 4
You know,
tees
like, with
left
a white
if I
tee,
put.
like, I can understand if you that was just a shirt, bro. It is white, bro. It's gonna
This is-
see you sweating that shit,
This is
bro.
the problem with
man.
niggas, bro. This is why I was telling niggas. Niggas get too used to wearing jeans and they think they can apply the jean method to all articles.
Can't do that.
Like, nigga, those are jeans.
Can't
I'm
do
talking
that.
about a t-shirt, bro. Nigga, one wear.
Socks.
Sock, one wear.
Yeah,
Socks
one
only one
wear,
wear, bro.
one
Hell
wear.
yeah.
What?
This nigga didn't say that last time.
Last time I said that if it was socks, like I would go through and I would just leave them there. You feel me? But eventually, like you get to the point where you're just like, yeah, bro, I have so many socks. I don't even wear the same socks twice most of the time. You know what I mean? Like in like a month span. So
I
like
feel
they're
you.
getting washed.
Yo, I'm
feel you.
gonna keep it
I
a stack
agree.
with you. If it's like regular socks, for sure. My CBT socks, nah, you gotta get a couple uses.
Nigga, wash your socks.
Smell test,
No.
look test.
The only
But I
other thing
feel-
I'll do multiple times, like basketball shorts.
Mm.
Those I would think you would watch those more.
A couple times, then you wash it.
Couple times. I feel like when you use basketball, you definitely sweating.
No, but I'm not playing basketball.
You
in
don't
my
gotta play,
basketball
but I just
shorts.
feel like you sweating. You feel me? Like in
Wash
your
Nah,
shit.
you
Wash
sweat
your
more in
clothes,
jeans than you
man.
would in shorts.
That's true, but wash your clothes, man.
Wash your clothes.
Wash your clothes. The only
Yeah,
thing that you
facts.
shouldn't be washing all the time is like a jacket, some jeans, and if you have like a suit, your coats.
Even a hoodie.
That's it.
I think a hoodie's in that category. You don't wash it.
I
Every
actually
time.
went to the dry cleaner
I
for the
guess.
first time yesterday, bro.
Wow.
I've never went to a
You know what dry cleaning is?
Yes. It's like a dry solution. I don't know. It's like a solution that
It's
has
a
no
dry
water.
solution.
No, it's
Yeah,
a
there you
solution
go.
that
Nah,
has
there
no
you go.
water, and you know
It's
what I
still
mean?
wet though. Them niggas is cap. They made a whole business off lying in the community, bro. That shit is literally just wet. It's just cleaning. It's just regular cleaning, just without water.
They iron your shit for you.
I mean, it come nicely packed and everything. You
They
drop it
iron
off, but it's a little OD. $18 for pants.
Oh, I
It's
paid
like,
15.
that's
For one pair?
for one pair of pants.
Mm.
Yeah,
No.
you going to the wrong spot.
Yeah, maybe. No, I think it was 2 pair of pants.
You- wait, you
Well, no, I
went
paid 15 for a top and bottom. Yeah, you getting hold.
No, I just said 2 pants, $18.
Oh, okay.
It's not as bad, but
Okay.
still, like the washing machine is way cheaper.
I mean,
I'd rather
Yeah.
run through that and
You-
then
but
just
they don't
buy
do-
some new.
but they don't do
pants.
it for you though. You got to do it yourself at the wash machine. They
you
do
can't-
have self-service play. Yo, high key though. Yo, you know who be? Shout out to y'all, man. Cape Verdeans, bro. The Cape Verdean spot over at Upham's Corner. They do a great job, bro. Washing the clothes. They come pick up the clothes from you. They
They do.
like and they'll
Oh,
bring it
damn.
over to the
They
thing
really
and
want
bring it
your
back.
business.
Yo, and I'll be like, yo, they be folding it. I'm like, yo, these niggas is cooking.
Victoria,
They be like $30 full service.
Tori, what's the rules? What's the rules?
The rules for
Daily uses, like uses. You know, how many uses does this get before? She's
So-
on camera. She's gonna lie to us.
what?
You gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie.
No.
Keep it
So-
I think women just have better standards than men.
All
Yeah.
right, let's hear it.
Okay, so I'll do your fit, for example, right?
Okay.
So your black tee, it's
Mhm.
not a white tee, so it has different standards, I think.
I agree.
I think for shirts though, right? I think about deodorant stains. Like that shit's kind of nasty.
Facts.
That's true. That's true.
I'm along the lines with Nate in terms of like 1-2 uses at most on a good day, for
Mm.
real. And then shorts,
3 if nobody's seen you in the fit though, right?
Absolutely not. You're wilding.
What nigga?
Nigga,
I'm
fuck
getting
this.
this. Dion's looking at me. He
I
knows
definitely
what-
seen this nigga in this fit before.
No, you haven't.
I've at least
I
seen.
have, bro.
I've at least seen the shoes.
What does that have to do with the conversation?
Hold on. He's gonna try to do me. You've seen these pieces.
Tell me he ain't wash it.
You've seen these pieces on different fits.
Bro, the only thing that I didn't see on that fit before is the shoes, bro. You definitely did this fit with some different shoes.
That's a fact.
Nah, bro, I haven't worn this
With the Air
Wow.
Maxes, the
I haven't worn
95s.
shorts in a while either.
Yo, why y'all fucking studying my whole wardrobe?
Bro, I
This is
didn't
why I
do
gotta
it.
get new
Well,
clothes for
you're the
niggas,
example
bro.
that Tori's using.
The thing is too, is because you have a lot of statement pieces, so you can't keep wearing the statement pieces, bro. Like those shorts, allowed shorts, you can't get off multiple fits with them
Right,
shorts.
right. I
It's
have a
blue.
question.
I think
What's
you can if
What
you switch it
about
up.
hats? Y'all be washing your hats?
I watch.
You
beanies.
are supposed to wash your hats.
I mean,
no
yeah,
bullshit.
that's a lot of sweat on a hot ass day. I bet
But-
that fit is.
Nigga don't
you
wash
know?
his hat.
The type of maintenance that requires to not fuck up the hat
Mm.
is it's
I
not
don't know.
that easy.
This nigga don't
I just
wash
started
his
wearing
hat.
hats.
I
for
don't
real, so
wash
I
This
know.
hat dirty. I'm right. From afar,
yeah.
from afar, it's smooth. But when you like get close, you're like, I'm seeing a little grime.
Yo.
Seeing a little grime.
I think like a bucket hat is easier to wash, right? Because
sure.
there's not like the brim
Embroidery,
part, right?
yeah.
Yeah, he's
Or-
never washed that bucket hat.
I mean, I just got it like last month, 2
You
months
gonna
ago.
wash it?
I mean, I already did because I dyed it.
You gonna wash it again?
Yeah.
So it wasn't originally black.
Nah,
What color was
That's
it?
hard.
blue.
Mm.
Yeah.
You don't like crypto?
Wow.
Damn, nigga changing the game, man.
Join the game, bro.
Wow.
That's
Bobby.
absurd.
Hey, man, you already know how we rocking.
Do we?
Do we? Maybe not.
You already know how you cracking.
Hey yo.
I don't even think Crips would say that shit, bro. Crack. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
bro,
man.
it's cracking good.
You
It's
just
bad
said
for
it
the
on
community.
camera,
We're back. We're here. We're in the flesh. It's Rob the 508 God. I got St. Yves to my left.
What up?
I got Tomo to my right.
I'm here.
Nate Nick's in the room.
Hello, how you doing?
And we got a special guest with us. Joined us, the lovely. You want the full name? You want the nickname?
Nickname.
Nickname. We doing Tori.
Yeah. Yo, what's up?
We gotta come on, drop some
13
bombs.
Vic.
13
I'm about to say,
Vic.
I have you saved in my phone. It's 13 Vic.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
What is 13 Vic?
What is it? Okay, so
Okay, mad bombs.
so the 13. Well, I was born on June 13th, so it's kind of like my favorite number. But also, I think like
Real niggas born on 13.
right, and I think the 13. I guess like it's really known to be an unlucky number, right? And like
Yeah.
associated with like horror and
They
all
try
that
to say
stuff,
that.
right? But I also the way that I was thinking about it, because I came up with this name a while ago. I thought about it as just like if I put like this in front of my name, then it kind of stands for like all my unlucky moments and like reclaiming those things. So kind of like that.
So
Yeah.
a little thought process behind
A
it.
little bit.
And for those who don't know, Tori is an artist, a designer. I wasn't even hip to the clothes, like the pieces
Yeah.
you
It's
made.
been a while. It's been a while.
I dug into that and I was like, yo, this is fire. Like
Appreciate
I
it.
was already looking through the pictures because Yves had sent photos from the gallery. He had taken pictures of each one, and I was just going through them like before I actually sent it over, and I was just like reading the plaque and everything, and like the art is dope. Like
Thank
I don't know
you.
how you would describe that style, but like it was giving me like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Mm.
Like it's like a graphic look. It's cartoonish, but like it's like you got to look deeper into like the meaning of it. Like you know what I mean? It's very intentional.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's how it comes off to me.
I appreciate
But how would you
it.
describe that? Like
Oh, yeah. I think I'm still trying to figure that out myself. I think I do pull from a lot of cartoons like Cowardly Dog. Like I never thought
Really?
about that one.
Yeah.
I don't pull from that specifically,
Mhm.
but it makes sense. Like you're tied to that. But I'm really into like street art graffiti. So I think like that cartoon, colorful pop, but also like being very intentional with your storytelling and stuff. And I don't know. I'm still really trying to describe it myself. So
where did it all start? Like did it start with drawing or was it the clothes first?
it was started with
Drawing.
drawing. Yeah, like pencil to paper when I was real young. So you know that book Where the Wild Things Are?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fire
I used to,
book.
Great book.
fire. So I used to
Fire.
copy.
Next, that's Tomo's next album.
Fire book. No bullshit.
Yeah, and I used to like copy the monsters on that all the time. I was really into Ed Hardy. So I think all of those things I used to practice drawing when I was younger accumulated into my style. So it's kind of like a pull from a lot of things that I
That
found
makes sense.
interesting.
I see that.
Yeah.
Did you fuck with the movie?
The movie?
There's a movie.
It's like
Yeah,
real life, right?
yeah,
So
it's
it's
real
pretty
life.
animated.
It's
in
kind
real
of
life?
creepy. No
It
bullshit.
is
Yeah.
creepy.
The book's
Yeah.
creepy.
I haven't seen the second movie.
I haven't
Oh.
seen the second one
The
yet.
Yeah.
second one is the live action one. You never saw it?
That's the one I've seen. I remember
Yeah.
you're talking about the short animated film because
Oh, I haven't seen that then.
Yeah,
Nigga said I seen it all.
I seen the live action one. I think that one's creepier than the book.
I mean,
I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
they're monsters.
Yeah.
It was
That's
funny
the point.
though.
That's the point of the book.
It's not a kid's movie.
Yeah.
It's a kid's book.
Hey, man.
The whole point of the story is like, oh, like he's like, you know, he goes to this.
Because he's a bad
making it up.
kid. So he left. He went to like this land and shit with these monster niggas in the woods.
Type.
Yeah, I haven't read that book since
Then he becomes
first
like
grade.
one of them and like the king of them.
He does?
Yeah,
That's what
and they're
happens?
like, yeah. And they're like his
Embrace
friends.
that nigga.
And then he like goes and he's like, word, and they're like, be good. And he's not on timeout no more.
Nah, he did some foul shit to them.
I gotta
They
reread
ain't
that shit.
forgive him.
Yeah.
I
Some
haven't
shit.
read
I gotta
that in a
reread
minute,
that
nigga.
shit.
I don't know.
Like I said, they ain't forgive him.
They did forgive him, but at first they was like, it wasn't fucking with him. Like,
Facts.
bullshit.
Anyway,
Nigga wrote the book.
he read it like 2 months ago.
No,
Like,
bullshit. He's like,
nah.
He's like, I pull it up right. You can
My
like,
my grandma used to read that shit to me when I was younger, bro. That a lot of Dr. Seuss shit. You feel me?
it's the foundation
Fuck with
to
that.
like your literature. I feel. Flash Stanley was mine.
That I fuck with Fast Annie too, bro. That one, Wayside too. That shit was hard.
I had the whole Clifford collection. I feel you, bro.
Mad
The whole
Clifford
Clifford
wasn't
connection.
rocking, bro.
You wasn't rocking with Cliff.
I would watch it, but
Nah.
I ain't about to read no Clifford book.
Ain't from
Nigga.
Curious George?
I would watch that shit. I ain't
Really?
reading the book, nigga.
I was fucking
Nah.
Curious George.
The book?
I read some of the books, but I was reading like Arthur.
Yeah, I forgot.
Arthur. Back when that nigga had the whole like.
Before the
He's
redesign.
an anteater
Even
type,
before the
yeah.
It was
redesign.
like a combination of both. Just Arthur stories.
That Arthur's ugly,
His name
bro.
Arthur Reed, bro. The nigga Reed.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
But nah,
I
because
did. I did.
let's bring it back, right?
You please.
Your last project was inspired by literature, right? Was it
Mhm.
not?
Yeah.
What was the book? Remind me again.
Where the body keeps the score.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How did you even come across that? Why did that speak to you? And then how did it, push you to really create the project that we worked on?
Okay, that's a good question. I think I just saw it that other people were reading it in terms of like along the lines of like healing and stuff. So that was what I was interested in about like how your experiences shape yourself, right? So I saw the book and I was like, all right, I read the first page. I bought the book. And then after the first page, I was like, yeah, this is what I need to be reading. Like it was answering questions I had for a while. And then after that book, like took notes in that shit, like every page. And I learned a lot about myself and just started a big reflection period for me. And when the opportunity came to me, it just kind of fell in alignment. Because once I finished that book, Brandy came to me talking about, oh, I have this opportunity for a gallery, da da da. And I was like, yo, like, what am I going to do it
Universe
on?
kind of speaking.
Yeah, so I was just like, this is on my mind right now. So I'm going to just run with that.
What is this book again? Like, what is it about?
It's talking about like trauma, healing, stuff like that. So it's basically about how your past experiences, if you don't properly grieve them or reflect on them, they stay in your body somehow. Whether
I believe that. Yeah.
yeah, it's real shit. And like, for example, like someone that struggles with anxiety, that shit comes from somewhere, right? So it's just like about how your body reacts to certain triggers and why that might be.
Yeah, it's a good book. You should read it. You probably rock
Oh,
with it.
you read it?
Maybe.
The cover is blue, so it fits with your whole stuff.
Feel me? And maybe I got some traumas that I'm not even hip to, you know? I
Nah,
might
yeah,
learn
you
something
definitely
about
do.
myself.
Real.
Look up. You know, shared some stuff on here. I'm like, damn.
Yo, you've been diagnosing me for a little
Not
bit.
diagnosing you with anything. Trauma's
This
not a
nigga's-
diagnosis.
Yeah, I was in the car the other day thinking like, damn, do I really need therapy?
Yo,
Yo.
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
like,
everybody.
am I on the spectrum?
Wait.
Like, he said something
Whoa,
like that. I was
whoa,
like,
whoa,
like,
whoa.
whoa.
I got a question.
You said that about me. I was like, nigga, I got attention to detail. Don't be like, I'm fucking, like,
I don't know, but I do think that like in the book, it also like talks about kind of like how some of those things manifest and how it like impacts your like relationships with people as well, which is really dope. So like after like, because I read the book also, it was mad funny. My mom gave it to me. I was like, what you know about this? I was like, you're the reason. You know, reading the book and then like from there it went to All About Love from
Bell Hooks.
you know what I mean, Bell Hooks. So it was cool kind of
I've
like seeing
heard
because they're
about
like
that.
super connected. I think like so going to the gallery, you know what I mean, and being able to like experience it, it was really cool. Like not only being able to like kind of identify certain pieces and key like takeaways that I had from the book in some of the pieces that you had brought to life, but then also kind of like examining it and like wanting to revisit the book therein because I'm like, okay, there's certain stuff that I'm like taking away from the gallery that I think is a little different than what I took away from the book, and it makes me want to like re-explore. You feel me? So that's pretty cool.
before
They might need to sponsor you, no cap.
Yo, I'm trying.
Right?
I found out some grimy stuff about the dude that wrote it though. No kizzy.
Oh, we talk later
that's
about
all of them, though.
that.
Man, it always be something.
You find out that there's something about everybody. It's like, damn, not
No
gonna be me
cap.
though. Not gonna be me.
You said everybody with so much fervor. Everybody.
And then I realized I don't mean that.
Before we get to the actual gallery, though, how did Yves get included in the process of creating this project? And the project's called Lost Grief, right?
Yeah.
So how did you reach out to him? How did that all come about?
Yeah, so originally Shamir was supposed to be a part of it, but then his schedule didn't allow
So like
him to progress.
Yves
but
is a good backup.
No,
right?
no,
Like
it wasn't
Shamir's
Yves
not
that
there.
was.
Like,
No,
you know, I didn't think that when she first said it to me. I was
No,
like,
I was talking to Shamir.
number 2 is just
my
as
God.
good. It's okay. Like it's fine.
Nah, it wasn't like
They
that.
were saying to call them black though for the podcast and like other like artistic endeavors.
Oh yes,
and so on and
black,
so forth.
black. So black
First
was
black, then Yves. Yes.
no, it wasn't
I
like
get
that. So I was talking to Black about it, and I had asked him if he knew of any photographers that would align with the project. And Yves was the first
That's
recommendation. And I saw his work, and I was like, oh yeah, this is like in alignment of what I'm looking for the project. And then I emailed him, and then that's it. But I didn't know
Mad
Yves or
formal.
yeah.
You be checking your email?
Really?
No.
You be checking your email?
Yeah, I do. But the thing is,
Cap.
I was traveling at that time. I was in Canada for a funeral. So I was like, I'm gonna just answer this shit when I get back, back home, whatever. Sadiq had called me up while I'm there. He's like, yo, bro, like, she's emailing you, like, hit her back, da da da. And I was like, damn, bro, I should really answer this shit. Then I think we made plans to like get on a Google call.
Yeah.
So like at some point when I was at work,
It's dumb for him on Google call.
Yeah, we on a call.
He said nothing.
that shit said my government name, y'all. She was like, so who's Olivier? I was like, oh shit. He's like, I don't even know that. He's like, damn.
Yeah.
I must
He
be
was
logged
always
into
like-
my cousin's
How you know
account.
that?
Yeah.
Must be logged in my
Yeah.
cousin's account.
That was funny.
But yeah. And then
Yeah.
we just started linking up.
And did you
Couple weeks
catch
after
the
that,
vision
every
like
week.
immediately?
Yeah, I think she. the way
How
she
did
went
she
about
explain
it,
the vision to you?
The way Tori went about it was so like professional. Like she had like a whole like slideshow references to things that she was inspired
Why
by.
you talking
Just
about her
yo,
like she not in the room?
you know, like
Weirdo.
no, I'm just saying like
Weirdo.
What you mean? All right, so boom, right? Nigga disrupted my whole flow. So, anyways, the way you presented it, sorry, you want to act like that, right?
Good.
It was very professional. From the way you came about with all the slideshows and everything, telling us like, yo, on this day, I want to do this. This day, we're going to do that. This is when you guys have, the space to give me your input on how you want to go about it this way versus at the end of the day, this is my vision. We're going to kind of blend it and stick to this.
Mhm.
You feel me? I think I definitely took a lot away from things that I want to do for myself in the future. It's like, yo, like, I really got to like prep for this shit. I
Yeah.
really got to have like a whole business plan and just like
facts.
everything set up so that there's no misinterpretation of what
Mhm.
my vision is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I think my intentions were if I'm meeting somebody for the first time, like first impressions means a lot.
Very
but also if you take something serious, then other people will too. So the more detail you put into something, the more realistic it's gonna be and the more better the communication is gonna be. So if I wanted something to go a certain way, I'm gonna have to put as much detail and work into communicating that.
Especially
So
when it's like what's in your
Yeah.
mind, what you're trying to execute on. Now you got to get other people on
Yeah,
that same
exactly.
wave.
Facts.
So how did you explain it to Yves? Like what is this vision of yours? Like how did you want this to be displayed to people? What are you trying to display?
I was about to say, before we get too far into the pod too, I just want to take a second to shout out our sponsors, Diaspora Mass. You feel me? Go check out the page.
Shout out to the good
Shout out
people
to
over
good
at
people.
Diaspora
I'm
Mass.
saying shout out Yerba Mate
Mate.
supplying us with the Yerba Mate. Don't say mate, bro. I fuck with Mate. Sup, Mate?
Alright.
Bucks,
Sup,
mate.
mate.
I think you should call our
And shout out
sponsor how they
Topo
wanna be
Chico.
called.
Damn, we need more Topo Chicos.
We
You
do
feel me?
need more Topo Chicos. Dang, make the drop off.
Back to the show though. Swat.
8. Okay, repeat that question.
I see you get into your bag. Tomo. No, I'm what is this vision? Like what is Lost Grief? You know what I mean? What does that mean to you? Because I seen the the video that you had done, and it was like you, Sadiq, Yves, you guys are playing, at this playground. I'm curious to know what were you trying to display?
Yeah, so specifically with that video, it took place in my home neighborhood in the Villa Victoria. And when I think of parks or playgrounds, I think of just childhood, right? And I specifically have this piece called The Playground, talking about like childhood sanctuaries, like, right? So I thought it would be best to host it. Well, actually, it was like a collective thing about deciding like the location for the playground.
I think what we really wanted to do is just make sure it was like true to you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think from the way I interpreted a lot of the times when you were speaking about the grieving process, you because kind of like how we touched upon the panel too, like I haven't personally experienced grief in a very, very, you know, I guess, in a point in my life where I could really like understand how impactful it can be to someone, right? And I think from when you was explaining it, you know, you was essentially explaining how like, I don't think anyone ever really reaches that. And that's something to embrace and understand that there is no right way or wrong way to do it. Just do it your way. And I think for me, when we was talking about how we're going to document this, I was like, well, what about the other side of it? What about the positivity that comes from grieving? You know, when you sit there and you understand like all the memories that you had somewhere or you had with someone, you know what I mean? I think that's why I really wanted to focus with, at least with my side of the documentation process when we was doing like that creative shoot, was like, yeah, let's show the positivity that can come out of grief. You know, let's bring you back to where you were when you was a kid, when you had memories doing this or doing that. You know, your school, I forget the name of the school that you in.
The
Darwin
Blackstone.
went.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was a big part of it. And I also want to add on to it. It's just like a lot of, for me personally, like times of grieving were within my childhood. And I feel like there's so much to unpack there for like everybody.
How do you grieve as a child?
Yeah.
Like,
And especially if you're not
even
taught the right way. Right. So,
and is your family like, I'm asking any of y'all, like when your family handled death, did they kind of speak to you, you know, as a child? Like, did they explain it to you, or is let's try to keep as much away from this person as we can? Let's try to protect this person.
Most of the time when someone dies, like, just tell you that they're dead.
Yeah.
Feel me? Like, cause like the person not coming back. So it's like, they're not trying to like hide you or shield you from it. It's like, yeah, bro, they're dead. They died from this specific thing or this specific thing. The world be like that sometimes. Feel me? And now, like, they're not, you never gonna see them
nigga, that's how they told
Like, you don't
you.
say it like, you don't like say
my
it
mama
just
tell
like
me
that.
like, yo, like,
But it's like,
I'm
yeah,
not
bro.
gonna be here forever. Like, make sure that
Facts.
when that day comes, you're good and you know how to handle yourself. You know how to take care of yourself, because I'm not gonna be here. Like,
Facts.
that's just, I'm like,
Straight
yeah, that's
up.
real shit.
Cause
That's
then
the
it could be
reality
your
of it.
day too. You feel me? So it's like they just keep it interact with you.
Yeah,
I'm
no
trying to like
bullshit.
shield little kids from stuff like that can be like more harmful than good most of
I
the time,
agree,
because
yeah.
you're like preventing them from being able to fully understand what's taking place in front of them. And that level of like shielding them from like the reality of the situation only prevents them from being able to properly go through it in the future when it's on
Yep.
their own terms.
I agree with that, but I think that's one side of it. I think the other side of it is, I can imagine people in those situations, they're protecting that child because they don't even know the words. They don't even know how to explain and like rightfully. I don't think it's a selfish thing. I think it's something that they're trying to figure out at the same time while they're
Why do you
grieving,
feel
while
like
they're going through their rush of emotion. Cause I've seen it.
Why do you feel like someone younger isn't capable to like
It's not that
understand
they're not capable. It's that like you don't even know like how to deliver this like power, like heavy message.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
But you know what they do know? How they feel. And you want to make
Yeah.
sure that when your child or someone younger is in a position where they are going to eventually feel that you're giving them the tools to understand how to mediate that.
yeah, for sure. That sounds like mad nice. Like beforehand, but like while you're like in the point of just a bunch of emotions going
I
through
mean,
your
that's
head.
part of the responsibility of being an
I'm
older
just
person
saying
in
that
someone's life.
that's another layer
Facts.
to it of why you might feel. I'm not saying it's right to, you know, hide the child from the truth, but
I might
it's
even go
easier
on
said
limb
than
and
done.
say that's wrong. But I
Long
see what
term.
you're
Long
saying.
term for
but I
sure.
definitely think that's like the wrong way to go about it. You feel me? Because like that's very damning. Like there's very little like
It's-
positive things that can come out of that situation.
sure, but it's also difficult to say like what's right or wrong way of like going about death, period. Like, isn't that what they tell you? Like everybody grieves different.
But I'm not talking about grief though. I'm talking about giving people the understanding of the situation. That's not grief. That's just a matter of fact thing. That's facts and not facts.
But that
Person-
person's also going through something.
No, I understand.
So
what
it's
I'm
like
not
they
saying.
got to deal with their emotions and,
Yeah, no one's disagreeing with you, bro.
you know,
It's
We're
not
saying like we
necessarily
understand what
about
you're saying.
how
but,
you
like,
deal with it.
yeah.
It's more so how you communicate exactly what happened to the child. You feel me? Like they might not understand like the concept of like disease and like why somebody might die from, but they can understand like, yo, this person's not here anymore. You feel me? Like tell you shit.
It's not necessarily like how to explain it, but it's like, how am I going to explain? Like when someone says like, how am I going to explain to this person that they're never going to see this person
It's
again?
just like, yo,
It's
we
not
gon-
that they're saying like they
Nah, I
don't know
feel
how
what
to
you're saying.
describe it. It's like, I don't even know how I'm going to have the strength to say this or something
feel
like
you.
that.
I see what
You know,
you're saying.
that's
the way thing that comes to mind
You
is
got to
like
do it,
my
though.
little cousin. The only knowledge he has of like my great grandfather is him being like kind of like really old and being like about to die. You feel me? And so from him, like us having to explain that shit to him, it was kind of like, yo, you feel me? Like he's got into this age, like he's lived basically his whole life, you feel me? So now he's ready to pass on. And that was what we explained to him, you feel me? And so he understands like the concept of death because he's really into like Animal Planet and shit. So he sees like animals dying and shit, you feel me? So it was kind of like, but this particular case is like somebody dying of old age. So it's like, eventually like, y'all gonna be there, you feel me?
Yeah, that's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But in those situations, how was grief explained to you?
I don't think it was talked about. And that's why I think it was so hard for me to process like years later, because I didn't have the tools to understand it for myself because it was never communicated to me directly. It was kind of just like it happened. I seen people sad, crying. And also like, I don't think of grief in only of the ways of like people passing away. Like you can just have you can have both your parents, but they could be like emotionally distant, and that's grief right there because you don't have like that bond, right? And so there's like multiple ways to define or even like process or think about grief and loss. And so for me, I just think like it was something that wasn't talked about in my home, in my community much, other than like people being like, yeah, this is tough, like people passing away and stuff. But it's like, okay, but how do you feel about it? How are we, you know, gonna like heal as a community or a family? Like that stuff never was communicated. And so I'm trying to define that and understand that now. So
you kind of had to figure that out for yourself, like on the fly type of thing.
Yeah, like just day by day going through how I was feeling. And I didn't even like understand my emotions because
a lot of times it don't hit you all at once.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't hit you at the beginning. It might be years later where it's like, oh shoot, I'm this way because these things, you know, happen. Like when was that moment for you? Or at age? Like, I don't know.
I think when I went to college because that was my first time moving away from my home in my neighborhood. And when you create distance, I feel like for me at least, it made me have like a bird's eye view of the situation of just being like, damn, like it happened like this is how it really is. And then that's when I started to really process shit. I was like, ah, damn, that was crazy, you know?
Looking back.
So yeah.
Wait, that wasn't normal in your household?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I'd say around that time.
But I do think that when it comes to grief, it's similar to what you're saying, Tori. You know what I mean? Like, grieving is just like, really just like, it's almost like you're just observing and kind of like going through the motions of like loss, you feel me? And like dealing with something that's like taking place, you feel me? Whether it's like a piece of you that you feel like is like, been like, you know, kind of like, I don't know, like desanitized in some ways. It could be like a loss of like a friend, you feel me? Like, as in like your friendship no longer like a kid, like the thing, someone moves away, whatever it is, like grief. Like, I feel like it comes in mad different like forms.
Yeah.
But I also know that like when it comes down to how you kind of process things and process like the emotion that you're dealing with, like a lot of times folks who struggle with, it's not necessarily that people are like struggling to like grieve. They're struggling to like process those emotions. You feel me? Like they're struggling to like actually like articulate the things that they're experiencing and articulate the way that they feel. You feel me? Like someone was talking to me earlier today about something similar, and it's just like, sometimes like everybody's process is different, but I think like a good start is just figuring out like how you feel. You feel me? And like understanding like where you're at in the current moment. And like that might be like all over the place, you feel me? But it's good to like have that in mind. Sometimes that could be hard to like just think about. Sometimes it can be hard to even talk about. Sometimes it might be hard to write about, but I feel like everyone has like a different like means of just first like understanding where they're at. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you're not taught to do that. You're taught to like protect other people, or you're taught to kind of like not show it or whatever ways, or like continue on and like ignore it in some ways. You feel me? It's like all those things are like, again, like it's just damning ways that we've been taught to cope. But it's like, if we can figure out like more solid strategies to move forward as like a community, as individuals, as like family, all this stuff, I feel like everyone would be kind of better off for it.
It's tough, bro. I don't know.
Hey man,
I don't know if you like you ever perfect grief. Like you don't ever perfect it. You know what I mean? Like it's
a process, and like every process,
I'm sure it
differs
makes
every time.
It makes the next one. I might be talking about my ass. Cause like you
would
like it makes the next one a little easier. Hell nah, like
each person is so unique to your life.
Yeah, you'd have been like,
like
damn, like that, like they went out like that, or I could have never thought this person.
But like I said, like that's like again just thinking about like losing like when your grief is not even death. It's just like that's when your grief is related to another person. You can grieve like the loss of an opportunity. You feel me? Like it's just like things come up and people like deal with it in different ways. You feel me? Some stuff is like it's less personal. Sometimes it is. But I think that again, like regardless of what it is, like just taking that like initial step of just being like, how do I feel about this? You feel me? Like, how do I actually feel about this? Not just like, oh, I'm sad. Like, there's like levels to sadness. You feel me? Like, where are you? Like, what's going, like, frustrated, angry, like, whatever it is. Like, where are you? You feel me? Like, a lot of times people just are taught to just keep it pushing and ignore it. So
Tori,
I don't know where they end up.
do you feel like after creating all the pieces that you created for this project and then having the gallery, did that bring you a little bit closer to learning how to deal with everything? Or do you feel like you're still like where you at before, still working on it?
I'm definitely still working on it. I think it's a lifelong process for that type of thing for me. I think it helped me process a lot though. And it helped me sort out my feelings and thoughts on a lot of things, which is what I use my art for most of the time anyway. So it definitely helped. It was just a lot of work, like emotional labor put into that. So I was definitely like really tired after that whole situation was over.
After everything was done, like how did it feel?
Yo, I felt very fulfilled and I felt so much love from everything, but I was tired. Could we talk about like the emotional drainingness? I don't even know if that's a word, but you know what I mean? Like just being so tired after a big project of like that shit is crazy.
Months of like culmination, just finally to this moment.
Drainage.
Yeah.
To your point too, to what you were saying right before, how you felt after. I think about just all the conversations like me, you, or like Darwin had at DAP, you know, from like 12 to 4 on Sundays?
Yep.
Yeah, every Sunday. Or just like when you was at your house, like I remember there was one night you were supposed to leave your house at like 7. And we was probably there until like 10 o'clock, just talking to each other, not even working on anything, just literally like having a conversation, like just understanding each other a little more. Like the things that we've experienced or the things that, you know, we feel about certain things. And I'm just like, yeah, like, I don't know. Kind of like I was telling you, like, one day we're just going to stop working on this. It's like, damn, like, kind of miss all that.
Yeah.
Because we was really like just bonding
every week.
Does it feel weird now? Like your Sundays, it's like, damn, my 12 to 4 is not there.
It's weird. It's weird because we was doing it for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Straight.
5 months. Yeah.
5 months straight. So it's like it becomes a habit. You kind of just expecting it. But at the same time, like she's saying, it's like, but I have a free Sunday. You know what I mean? I can sleep in a little late. I don't got to bust my ass to get up to drive all the way up to either DAP or some of it, whatever. So it's like, you know, two sides of it.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to you for commuting like from freaking Brockton every
Saturday and Sundays. Jeez,
no bullshit.
He moved to the city.
The work continues though. It's just a different project.
That's a fact.
Especially like once you get familiar with certain artists, it's like you continue working with them throughout the rest of your career for real.
Yeah, different points.
Do you have an idea of like where like that next direction is, or you kind of want to just find out?
I have an idea. I definitely want to return back to the clothing because I feel like I put that on pause for a bit. But I also don't want to force anything. So if something comes up that I'm like, this actually interests me more, then, you know, I'm going to just go with that.
We got to talk about the clothes.
Yeah.
Because like I said, like I just was looking at, and they would just stand out. So like you had one piece where it was like a girl on the shirt, but then her, I said pigtails? Is it pigtails? Or like
I don't know what shirt you're talking about.
Or braids. No, I'm saying like you had hair coming off of the shirt.
Yeah,
and it, like what would you call that style of like hair? Like I don't know.
It was just like braided.
Yeah,
like
braided.
Hair, yeah.
But like it was literally hanging off the shirt, so it's like someone could feel it. It's interactive.
Yeah, interactive. Yeah, so you can like braid it if you wanted to and stuff like that. Yeah.
And then you had another one where it's like it was eyes on the shirt, but then like I think depending on like if you lifted it.
Yeah, when you walked, it would blink.
It would blink.
Yeah.
So it's like, where'd you get that idea to make the clothes a little bit more interactive instead of just like a static image on a blank?
So in college, I studied interactive media arts. And so I was introduced to a lot of things where it was like taking a 2D form and then like, how can you make this interactive? So that question was always in my mind. And at the time, like my mentor put something in my head that I will never forget. It was instead of saying or, say and. So I combined what I was studying in college to other things that I was also interested, which was fashion, clothing at the time. And I was like, how can I actually apply this to stuff I care about and actually like?
They don't got to be two separate things.
So at that time I was like, well, this is interesting. Like I've never seen interactive clothing in this way. That was more so like just kind of like what's the word? Like, I guess engineered, for lack of a better word, like by hand, you know, instead of having like technology, right? So like, how can I make this something that's so simple to interact with, but also like, you know, like cool. I don't know. Yeah.
And when you were making these pieces, was like, were the purpose just for you to wear them, have them, or is the goal to like get these out on a bigger scale?
I think at the time I had in my mind, I was like, yo, I'm never gonna like have a mass produced piece. I want to do everything
And
one
by
of
hand?
one. And
Oh.
I was just like on that
Swag.
time. And so
It's swag until like life comes, you know,
Yeah.
you got other priorities. You want to do
Mhm.
other different types of projects. If you still stuck doing that, like one thing, I mean,
yeah.
it's still fulfilling, I'm sure. But like, if you can find a way to duplicate yourself in a way, like, I think that's why people go that route.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You don't want to.
It's a balance.
Is it considered selling out?
It's
Like,
a balance.
Depends.
It's a difference between having a print from Picasso and having the actual piece. I mean,
Yeah. Exactly.
That is true.
but there's people can own both. You know what I'm saying? There's certain people that have the print,
And then
certain
they're just
people
gonna
that
be
have the
valued at
original
different.
piece. Yeah.
Different
Yeah,
person.
and I also think it depends on your intention, right? So if you're in it and you want to make as much profit and money as you can, then maybe mass
Facts.
producing would be the best option. But I think for me, I really value like quality, and I value intention, and I value like having something that's like, okay, like I'm making this for a specific reason and only one person got this. And I think
Mhm.
that
Yep.
shit is fire, right? So even though I might not make as much money in that sense in terms of in comparison to like mass producing something, like I'm way more fulfilled when I just make one thing of good quality.
Yeah, and you know, like that's the only one,
Mhm.
you know, and that's kind of because even like a piece could be real fire, and, you know, but if everybody has it, it doesn't
Yeah.
have that much value at that point. Like
Yeah.
the value is in the scarcity of it. So
Mhm.
you might be honest. If anything, have your like maybe staple piece if you wanted to grow in that sense, I guess.
Mhm.
You know, like have stable pieces that you can mass produce, but it's like the creative ones, like
Yeah.
oh, if y'all really want these, like, you know, that top of the line elite design, you gotta pay up for it.
Yeah, I
Simple as that.
agree.
Yeah. Does it feel that way working on cover arts for artists? Because it's like creating a specific piece that's meant for one person and like something that you wouldn't like put out essentially.
I haven't thought about it in that way, but the thing I like about cover art is that I'm inspired by like the sound of it,
Mhm.
and I think it's a different like inspiration or way that I produce the cover art. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I think it feels more of like a different way to like nurture my creativity because I'm using sound to create the cover art instead of
Yeah.
just like other inspiration through images or clothes. So
Like bringing the music to life.
yeah. So in that way, it's fulfilling in that sense.
Yeah, I always hate when I listen to a project and I feel like the cover art don't match what I'm hearing.
Got nothing to
That's
do with
chips.
it. Yeah.
Like that's like I feel like that happens mad times. Like now, especially like dudes cover art. I be like, bro, what am I looking at here? Do you have
Yeah.
like a favorite cover art? Not
That I've
necessarily
done?
that you've
Oh,
made, but just
interesting.
in general that might be like
Ooh.
matches with the sounds that you're hearing.
That's a good question.
While she's thinking that, to answer you, I feel like niggas just try mad hard to be different. And it's just like, oh, they're gonna expect it to look like this, so I'm gonna make it look like.
I'm like, I feel like it's the opposite.
That's
Dudes
so
be trying
interesting.
so hard to feel the same, like to be the same as
Really?
everyone else. Like as
Yeah.
soon as, like I
But
be
be-
feeling like,
yeah.
especially with cover art, I feel
There's a
like
lack
dudes
of
just doing something that
creativity.
they've already seen, and that's why it doesn't match with the sound that they're making.
Mm.
And the same thing with their music. Their music sounds similar to someone else too. So then it's like, dang, like
Do y'all feel that way about cover arts and like the connection to like the actual music?
Yeah.
You do?
I feel like it has to match, bro. I feel like before cover arts used to be way more curated to the music and the
Facts.
sound of the artist and the
Yeah.
whole,
I see
whole
what you- I
campaign
hear you.
around it. Now niggas just take a flick, just put a parent to
Yeah,
a
I gotta
Put
look
a
like,
wording
wait,
on
take
it.
a
Yes,
break. I don't
yes.
disagree with what
What's
you're
my
saying.
last
I feel
album
like
cover I like?
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I feel like because of when I'm usually in a setting listening to music, I'm not visually picking up on that. So I'm driving or some shit. So I'm not even
so you're
getting
not
the
even
chance to
paying
like
attention to the
paying
cover
attention
art.
to
And
the
the
cover.
thing
I'm really
is,
just like
too,
consuming.
The way music is consumed
That's
has also
interesting.
changed. Before it's like a whole experience. You go into the store, you buy a
You
record
get the,
or a
yeah,
CD.
you got the
feel me?
CD or whatever.
It
So
has
you're
a
physically
booklet.
looking at it.
It's
I
like,
feel you.
now it's a whole digital
Most of the time,
thing.
you just press play, put your phone in
Yeah.
your pocket. You don't really see it until you unlock it the next time or some shit.
It's the
feel
same
you.
thing with
Yeah.
movies now too. With movie posters and shit, is way less thought put into it, and
Facts.
it's
Yeah.
often
The same
less
blocking.
hand drawn. Yeah,
Same blocking, the same like setup with the big character in the middle and the small characters on the bottom.
Yeah.
They're like scattered throughout. And then like headline and then tagline.
That's a good point. And I think I
But, like, this
really
is-
miss that intention in things. And I miss like because I think all those components are equally as important, right? You could have the hottest track, but if you're not like putting effort into the marketing, if you're not putting effort into like the visuals or branding behind it, it's only gonna go so far, right?
Yeah.
Because I think people consume and put different emphasis on certain things. So what I mean is like some people might be more visual, so they'll be scrolling through a bunch of cover art, and if it doesn't catch their like interest, then they're probably not gonna view it, right? So you gotta kind of like think about all that stuff.
You know, it's wild too. Like I've been seeing like there's a bunch of artists that have been like canceling their tours. You feel me? Ain't not Lil Durk. He might have done it for a different reason. But for other artists that are like canceling their tours right now, like Lil Baby, you feel me? He had to like cancel a tour that he was
I
going
do my
on.
man Lil Baby like that, man.
I ain't do him like you did him. Like you bought a ticket. You did him like that.
Bought the
They
Drake
did
ticket
his
though.
shit facts.
Cheaper than Drake shit.
But what I'm saying is that like dudes is like trying to do like arenas and like, you know, big venues, you feel me? Where it might be like more than 5,000 capacity. And it's like, honestly, the way that streaming works right now, like there's metrics for like monthly listeners and like all these things, but that doesn't really like equate to how many
monthly
fans you
listener
have.
does not mean a paid listener, like or someone who's gonna pay. Or
No, but even so, I'm just
saying.
saying that doesn't even equate to a fan of your music. That's just someone that heard it.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
they could have just been playing a playlist and then they just had it on in the background. They're not even really like your fan. You feel me? So it's like in some cases when dudes is like getting all these numbers and like people will like go far with their music, like they're like exactly what you're saying. How far you go is really dictated by how much effort you put into like the whole package. Because you can get a bunch of numbers, but that doesn't mean that you can get like that doesn't mean that you'll get actual fans to come to your show.
Yeah, that doesn't
I
translate.
mean, it doesn't mean that you actually have people who are like huge fans of your music. They might just have it on. It might just be something to listen to.
Literally.
Oh, there's so many artists like that in the industry, like that is in mainstream right now that we think are hot, and then you go into you see their performances. Nobody's rocking with that shit. They don't have the lyrics memorized. They just internet hot.
Yeah.
And it's I don't want to put Lil Baby on that boat because Lil Baby's not just internet hot. I feel like he did have a run. He actually genuinely had a run. I just think people got a little bit tired of it.
Because, bro, that's the thing about the run. You go on a run like that. It's not like he was
How's it
making
a run?
different. That's what I'm saying. It's
How's
not like
it
he
a
was
run?
making different sounds.
2 projects and that's a run?
First of all, I'm not even calling
even
it
a year is a run, bro. I would give that.
All
Yeah,
right,
bro. It's
see,
a run. Like he ran
That's
that.
that's why he's.
That's a little bit more intense than a run, if you ask me, bro.
That was 100 meters. But I'm saying that's the reason why I think that like
for sure.
Lil Baby is like a good example of that because his music is like not intentional. It just sounds, bro. It's like it sounds good.
I don't know, right?
I don't think it ever was.
There's a lot of
you
can say that about.
It got watered down.
Right?
That's what it happened.
For an example of someone I think on the other side of that, like you could say Playboi Carti's music is not intentional, but he's also doing arena tours right now.
I think
that
it
shit is gonna
I think
sell.
it is more intentional than Lil
Because I
Baby.
think he
I'm
has
not
a
gonna lie,
cult
bro.
who's willing to pay that money to go and see him. Lil Baby doesn't have that.
I feel like it's different
How so?
because I feel like he's been intentional with like marketing.
Marketing?
Yeah, bro.
Like
Playboi Carti.
He's literally playing a character. He
is.
rebrands himself every time. He changes the way he like types on Twitter. Like he does little bits.
the marketing. If the
It's more
marketing
intricate
is
than you
mysterious,
think,
then
bro.
yeah,
No
I feel you.
bullshit.
I'll say this.
I'm not saying I don't
The
think it's not
shows and the
intricate.
set design, like everything changes every
That's
time.
a fact. Lil
He
Baby
just started doing stuff.
Lil Baby didn't reinvent himself. Rappers have short shelf lives with the current sound or image they're going with. They have to continue to reinvent themselves. Playboi Carti has been able to reinvent himself. If he was still putting out as much as we would like to say like, oh, I miss the old shit, blah, blah, blah. If he was still making the same shit from 2016, you get tired of that shit.
That's
You'd be
why
like, I already have all the
the original leaks from Whole Lot of Red didn't
music has
sound
a
like
shelf
how
life
the
that's
project
nice.
actually sounds. It was that original Pierre sound, you feel me? And then he went and did the whole thing with Filthy.
And you think it probably benefited him by not doing Pierre, you know?
'Cause now everything sounds like Whole Lot of Red. Look at the shit Uzi just dropped.
That's how it should be.
Facts.
That is true.
Yeah.
Like
As an artist, he should be pushing.
you can
himself
tie
all the time.
a sound to Dilate. You can tie a sound to Whole Lot of Red and Self-Titled. So Lil Baby didn't reinvent himself, and he got what? Like I played that Merch Madness shit for y'all last week. And you're like, yo, this kind of bump.
We didn't say kind of bump. We said it was smooth.
No.
There's a difference between I'll listen to this and yeah, bro, this doesn't sound bad, but what are we gonna say? It sucks. Like it don't sound bad, but none of it sounds bad. None of it's good either, bro.
But the symbolism of it was just like it's just commercial ass music.
That's
I could
humans.
see right through it. Like this nigga got a partnership with Fanatics. His mans is Michael Rubin. Come together, boom. The most fucking business ass like
Nigga, I
music
would
You didn't
do
hear
it
this,
too.
did you?
Nope.
Okay.
He said, I would do it too.
Hey man, you the nigga in the Lakers hat, man. What's some timeless music to you?
from recently.
Just in general.
So much
We know
timeless
what he
music.
likes.
That's mad
We know what he
general.
likes. I'd rather know what is some timeless music to you. What do you
Timeless
like?
music to me.
Mhm.
I'm a really big like 80s, like I guess house. Like I like that stuff that just makes you want to dance. Like you throw it on while you're cleaning, like stuff your moms would bump like while you was in the living room. Like I like that stuff. I think
like
that's
Solange?
timeless. Solange is fire.
Definitely house cleaning music.
Yeah.
No diss.
Depends on the salon.
Yeah.
You can't. I see what
No,
you trying to do.
don't do that. Don't do that, bro. I
The
love
sheet at
to
the
put my
table is a fire
Fabulosa.
project.
Nah, I like to put the hot water Fabulosa. You gonna mop the floors with
Oh, yeah,
this.
he's
Solange,
Cape
bro.
Verdean for
Come
sure.
on,
He put out the combo.
bro, when you put the water into the bucket, you can like there's a good feeling in that. You know.
Nah, for sure.
You know?
It's a little cleanse.
Facts.
I
Facts.
also really
I clean your
like.
space before you can clean your soul.
Ooh.
Drop a fucking mom for that one.
Nigga, what's the last time you cleaned in your crib, bro?
I was gonna say, I don't even
Not
think
your
that-
room. I'm talking about in your crib.
Got a dirty
Yo.
soul, nigga.
I don't even think that's true.
My
You gotta
soul
clean your space.
greasy.
Clean your
Yeah.
soul.
Dirty soul.
Nigga, you don't shower? I'm like, y'all must be the cleanest house in the world.
If I'm the one cleaning, so greasy. That's it. Okay, bro.
What's
You
your
about to-
favorite cover art you've drawn though?
Ooh, my favorite cover
I know you did two for
drawn.
King and you did
I
one for Kofi.
did.
But I'm not happy if you done any more.
I probably have, but those were like my 3 main ones, like most recent.
Mhm.
I really like the one I did for Kingsley, the second one, Through the Static, I believe
Yeah.
it's called. That one was probably my favorite because like I really thought about like the colorway to that and just the intention behind how it connects to the songs and the vibe and the music. So
That's what's up. Would you ever bring like your animations to life? I've seen you done it before, kind of like in a way where they're like moving in like video format. Would you like actually like animate it though? Take the time to like do that?
yeah, so I know very basic animation, but I think that would be fire. Like putting a little series together in terms of just like a plot line. That'd be dope. I really love claymation though. I want to do like
yeah.
animations do
Oh, yeah, that's
claymation.
fire.
I think that's fire, and I feel like that's something that I can also like. That's something that's a different medium, but also I can make it like relevant somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll probably do it that way.
Claymation is definitely underrated. I think it's also
Yeah.
cool because like you really have to be intentional with claymation.
Mhm.
Like
So
every
much work.
frame counts. You feel me? Like
So
that's
much
always
work.
been a cool concept to me. Because when I was younger, like I feel like they always like teach you that like, oh, we're gonna do like flip books and like shit, try to like teach you
Yeah.
animation on like a very like basic level. And like when you're moving like all this stuff and you're like, yo, I actually have like the power to create like movement. I have the power to create action. I have the power to create like sadness and all these things. Like literally like building off of like models that I'm originally like shaping by hand. Like all this, it's like it's so cool. Like
It's
I don't know.
so
To me,
fire.
that's fire.
I hope them
Yeah.
niggas getting paid.
I was about to
That
say
shit's
dumb
so
cool,
much work.
mad
Yeah,
time.
it is, it
nigga.
is.
What
Frame
the
by
You see
fuck?
frame.
Pinocchio?
That shit
my
probably
God.
take
Guillermo del Toro
months,
joint?
nigga.
I don't know. When you say
Months.
claymation, the first thing I think of is like the fucking Tim Burton's
Yes.
fucking
Yeah.
Oh, I love Tim
Remember-
Burton.
not Coraline.
That's not Tim
Oh,
Burton.
Jack Skeleton?
Yeah,
The Nightmare Before
Oh,
Christmas.
yeah.
I remember when I saw like the
Yeah.
breakdown for that when I was like a kid.
Coraline.
I was just like,
Insane.
damn, yo, like they really do that shit. Like piece by piece,
Not Tim.
taking out the fucking mouth, switching out with the sad face. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
but these niggas is
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
Shit.
But that movie was fire.
It is. It was. Classic.
So
I'm
I
gonna have
love
to watch
stuff like
back.
that.
Yeah, no bullshit.
So good.
Wow. Okay. Speaking of rappers falling off, I guess that's the theme right now. You know, little baby's not falling off. He just got academics had a whole breakdown. He got a couple
You
more hit
watching
songs.
academics still, bro?
Nah, he had a thread, bro. He had a thread. I just seen
You
it
reading
on Twitter.
academics?
No bullshit. Like,
Niggas
Wait,
is
that
reading.
that might be worse.
Oh.
Something just came to my mind though. That
Niggas
kind of
academics,
I want to ask
like
first
it's
before we
daily
get into
news.
that, right?
What's up?
Do you feel like because a rapper or musicians or whatever, like you can see when a musician falls off or whatever, right? Do you feel like you could see the same with like visual artists or people who do art in that medium in terms of like a fall off? Is that a thing?
Who would even come to mind? Like when you think about
Yeah.
it.
No.
Bro, Picasso fell off.
boy, yeah.
What does that mean?
He lost his mind. Nigga just lost his mind.
That
Like,
is one way
is
to
that a
fall
fall
off.
off?
Yeah,
That's
it
a
fell
fall
off,
off.
bro.
No
No
bullshit.
bullshit.
That's mental
I don't know.
illness. No cap though.
You fell off. Your brain is like, no, we good here.
Fell off the
Yo.
earth is nuts.
I don't know.
You're like, bro, Van Gogh. I don't
Nigga
know.
just lost his mind.
Yeah,
literally.
I don't know. I can't think of like something specific right
Like,
I
you
don't
weren't
feel like they
disappointed?
get that same like.
Oh, okay. I think this is a little different, but this person's a writer. You feel
Virgil
me? Like
fell
people
off.
might say like J.K. Rowling, like or however you say her fucking name, fell off.
She ain't a
Virgil
visual
fall off?
artist though.
Yeah.
Damn,
before
bro. No
before
bullshit.
that.
I feel like he was on top of the world, bro.
Yeah,
You got to
his
point to Louis
art-
Vuitton creative director, bro.
His art.
But
Yeah,
then
his
again,
art-
like, is that considered the fall off? Is it the art takes a hit or like the career
See,
took a boost?
That's
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's a different
Well, his
question.
art did fall off in a sense. If you look at the cover arts and stuff that he's done and like the actual art pieces he's done,
with the
I was around the time
Pop Smoke
shit.
one.
Pop Smoke
like-
shit.
But then,
that was bad.
no, to be,
But then, like,
you know what's
This is the
interesting
same
about
thing
that?
he did the Love Is Rage cover. He did the
I was scrolling
the Watch
through.
the Throne cover
That
too.
was the one that stuck out to me. Love His Rage too. Like, would you consider that a good album cover?
It was alright. I feel like Watch the Throne was probably the best cover he made. No bullshit, especially because that shit was a physical copy of it too.
We're also like fixating on one point of what he did, cover arts, but he did so much more.
That's
I'm
what
just talking about art.
you said.
Like-
You said visual artist. Virgil is more than a visual artist, but if we're speaking about visual artists, we have to speak about his visual art.
Spit.
not
I
true.
think
But his pieces are still visually curated.
It's not visual
That's-
art though,
How's it not?
bro.
This nigga made a fucking building out of clothes, bro. How's that not
was it
visual
fly
art?
though?
I thought it was cool. That shit was
Okay,
cool.
so that
But that's
counts
still
as
visual art.
That counts as visual art. I wasn't hip to that
I
though.
ain't like that.
I don't know what
We
you're
seen
talking
it
about.
together.
A building out of clothes.
When he had like the nigga fucking Most Def was in that shit modeling for that.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, that was at the
What you talking
ITA,
about?
right?
Yeah, it wasn't
The video,
ICA.
right?
Like he had like runway models literally.
Oh, I didn't watch. It was in the video thing.
Mhm.
I didn't watch the
They
video.
have
No
pictures of it
bullshit.
too and everything. All I'm saying is that's still visual art, my nigga.
I ain't rock with that though.
All right.
Me personally, I don't know. I
Well,
feel you though.
But I'm just saying, like,
Nah, I feel
what do
you.
you
One
consider the
person
fall
not
off?
fucking with it is not a fall off. You know what I feel? I feel like most people got to believe that you fell off for it to be a fall off. Most people, do.
All right.
You know?
I'll pull it up for reference so y'all can see it. But yeah,
Yeah.
like, well, how do you gauge that?
They switched up for the money, maybe.
How many pieces sold? But
That nigga was selling mad pieces. We talking about Virgil?
Nah, not him in particular, but I'm saying like in the case of like seeing a visual artist fall off, did they go from selling like 1 million units or some shit to like the next year they probably sell like 5? Nigga, it's like fell off.
Whoa.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's more than fall off, nigga.
They saying all of Chicago fell off.
Chicago?
They saying all of Chicago music fell
They
off.
capping.
Oh damn.
They
yeah,
say
I feel like
Kanye out of his mind. They say G
Yeah.
Herbo sitting down for a
Lucky
little
on a
bit.
run right now, no bullshit.
Oh, Lucky? Yeah, I mean, he's
My
on
name-
like the bottom
my
of the
name
totem
about
pole
to
of
drop.
Chicago music, but I'll give you.
That's a fullest.
Nigga, we talking about like
Crazy.
Kanye, bro. Like,
Who was the next name they said?
G Herbo.
Chance Ben fell off. G
That nigga
Herbo.
Ben fell
Pass
off
that to
though.
Tomo.
I don't know about art, bro.
Let me see.
You feel me? Art's some shit, bro. Like, I'm not going
That
to
wasn't
like,
fly, bro.
like art is
No,
like
I'm
one
saying
of them
that's
things-
visual art though.
But it's not fly, bro.
Nigga, this is fashion. It's
Wait,
a
let me
difference,
see it
bro.
again.
Is fashion a good thing? Like,
It's a difference, bro. It's not visual
I see
art.
what he's saying.
yo,
though.
send this.
How is it
Visual
not?
art is meant to be viewed, not word, bro. You feel me?
No, I don't agree with that. That's
What?
no,
He
that's
said-
a visual art. Is it good visual art?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. It's hard to measure because I think
I feel
that's
you,
like
though. I'm with you though.
that's a, like
It's a slippery slope because, like,
Yeah.
remember that video Kanye did with
It's a couture
Tekashi?
piece. Like you could, if that's the case, you could say a lot of the dresses and stuff that's worn on runway is like visual art. It's not visual art, bro. It is art, but it's not like in the sense of like it being visual art is wearable art. You feel me? It's not just visual because it's not just meant to just be viewed. It's meant to be worn too. It's weird. You could say
Facts,
wearable
like
art.
someone that's
So
like
okay, so the
It's
moment he does
fashion.
that, and it's not for commission. He just did it for the show. Is it not visual art?
No, somebody has to not be wearing it for it to be visual art.
I don't agree. I think it intersects, bro.
It's
These-
wearable
these-
art, bro.
He's consistent with the logic though. No,
With
he's
the
saying
logic,
that,
yeah, but I don't
he's
think the
saying that
logic's
as soon
right.
as he's saying that as soon as it's modeled and someone's putting it on, like it becomes like more than just like a physical
It's a
piece.
boat.
It becomes like a piece
Yeah.
of clothing or an article of clothing. Once it transitions from piece to article, it's different.
I think even if you throw it on a mannequin, you could consider it visual art because at that point, it's not a person wearing it. The mannequin is also a part of the piece. It is meant to be viewed.
I don't
by
agree with that
people.
logic. I see what you're
Semantics.
saying, but I don't agree.
Bro, look at what it's called. It's called visual art, something you could view. Wearable
Yeah.
art is something you can wear. It's a
I
difference,
think,
my
I
nigga.
think they,
What if they pull up the wearables?
That's what you think,
what's
bro.
the circles? The gold circle?
The go circle,
The
the
what?
Venn diagram.
Venn diagram? What are you talking about?
Venn diagram. There you go. My
Shut
fault.
up.
I was about
Are
to
you
say
saying like the
gold
middle
circle.
section?
You feel me?
Gold
It's
circles.
just right there, bro. It's
I
like-
thought you were talking about Leonardo da Vinci with the.
Yeah, nah.
Oh, that's hip hop.
I need to go back to school. But nah. But they are saying all of Chicago's falling off. I don't know what y'all, if y'all want to talk about it, you feel me? As a avid,
You
like,
bumping Chicago music?
I was at a time. That fell off too, bro. You feel me? That Chicago drill scene, that fell off. And it's just it's unfortunate to see my man G Herbo had to be a victim of that. You feel me?
Hey, bro, that's life, bro.
Bro, no one told him to do that shit.
Nah, it just reminded me of like, that's really what niggas be doing though. Like I can
Is
see
it?
how I can see how this
What,
situation
money
happened.
laundering?
Tori, you know, Are you aware of this whole situation?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
wire fraud, identity theft. You feel me? He got a plug. He got a scammer friend. I get it. We've all had scammer friends. You feel me? We just ain't never get caught up.
But you also don't have the attention.
I don't know.
But you also don't have the attention that G Herbo might have on him.
No, he wasn't personally scamming. He was reaching out to the person scamming.
Yeah, you know where they filed that report to?
Massachusetts, bro.
No bullshit. Like, why they come here to do that shit?
Oh, damn.
I don't know.
Because nigga, that shit don't fly over here. I don't know.
I seen the article. They said the fake name he used was Herbert Light. I was like, yo, this nigga wanted to get going. This nigga's name is
But those who don't know, his name is
Herbert Wright. He just said, Light. They'll never catch me, nigga.
I mean, when you think about it, I kind of get it. The nigga's famous, you know. They look his name up and say, it's not your name.
Nigga put on the fake mustache.
But then they be like, well, that's supposed to know. Okay.
Nigga put on the fake mustache.
Oh my goodness.
They probably made this. Wait, you think that's what they're gonna do? They probably just made a typo on the license.
Bro, if you gonna do some shit like that,
bro, you have to have a whole different name. Because if I see Herbert Light and I'm like even close to remotely a fan, I'll be like, yo, that kind of sound like Herbert Wright. Oh.
It is Herbert, right? Yeah, nah, isn't his name not Herbert, right, though?
It is.
Herbert. I thought it was Herbert Winslow.
Nigga, this nigga not a part of Family Matters, bro.
Who's Herbert Winslow?
I don't know, bro. You just came up with that name.
Hold on.
Carl's dad, nigga.
That's Carl. First of all, what? No. I don't know. I'm still looking for it.
That one.
But nah, this situation, man. So what? He's gonna do 5 years?
Hey, no, I seen a tweet, but like no articles I've seen, like even updated just now. Like he pleaded guilty.
Yeah. He's not trying to take the trial. He's not gonna fight it. He's just saying, yeah, I did that shit.
They said he could have faced up to 20
years.
So
I'm
here. 5, yeah.
I mean, we just seen YNW Melly get a fucking mistrial.
Crazy.
But sometimes you got, I don't know, take your chances. I feel like you got a case. I
genuinely don't know. Like whoever the what's it called, prosecutor fired him. You feel me? The state paying you money to keep people in fired because this is an open and shut case.
What are you implying?
I'm implying if I'm the lawyer, I'm the prosecutor. I'm going to the court. I'm gonna say, Your Honor, here's my first piece of evidence. Play. I've got murder on my mind. Play that shit. Nigga, that's a confession, nigga.
Bro.
It's art.
You know how much stuff you said in your music that
he said I didn't even mean to hurt him. Shoot him.
Nigga.
Just caught me by surprise.
No, we gonna play
bro,
that.
That could be self-defense, bro.
We gonna play this.
But do you guys know like the setting of the crime?
No.
That a man was shot from behind his back. He was the only person besides the other person that was next to him. So not the only person, but like there's two people in the back seat of a car. Someone in the front of the car got shot in the back of the head.
Mm-hmm.
The other nigga's dead. He's the only nigga walking away
He's
from
guilty, Your Honor.
I don't know.
He didn't even mean to
I
shoot.
don't know.
He wasn't driving?
No.
He was in the back.
He was in the back.
Of the Honda.
How does he get shot in the back of the head?
Bro, you have to understand. Bro, here's the thing.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying what it is. I'm just saying.
A lot of times when you're in situations like that, though, you know what I mean? Could have been someone else.
Yo, that's what I'm saying, bro.
You're the
you
judge.
Don't know what happened, bro.
I don't know.
If that's the case, he would have been in jail, bro.
I don't know.
You're the judge. You're the judge. Just listen to this.
On Christmas. Ain't get to see my niggas. Ain't get to
He ain't get to see his niggas on Christmas, bro. You don't know what that feel like.
I think
you think he just pulled this out his ass? Like,
yeah, bro. He's a storyteller. He's
probably say that I'm tripping.
You'd be a good lawyer, Nate.
Yeah, it's a story.
Have you ever heard Potter Not Real?
You said you never heard this song? Good. This is a terrible song. Bro, they had this shit bumping out of the fucking windows like for a whole summer,
This is
bro.
a bang.
Like, kids just walking on the sidewalk.
I
Like,
first heard the song. This shit kind of hard.
It was mischief.
this is why society's fucked, nigga. Like,
You never heard mischief? That might be better than me.
lock him up. He's not in the right mind state, bro.
Bro, but that's the thing. I think it's also that there's like, there's also the discrepancy because it might also be that he has, multiple personality disorder.
Which you gotta look into his grief, bro. Why does he have murder on his mind?
Self-proclaimed.
He said Melvin. Melvin versus Melly. You feel me?
Bro.
It could have been Melly that
Is this
did
the
it.
defense we're going with?
Bro, that's real life, bro. Because if
People
he's not
do
in his
have
right
real
mind when it
personality.
happens, then it's like he doesn't get prosecuted. That could be something that holds up the defense. That holds up the jury.
Okay, cool. You're not going to jail.
Bro, it was Rob that did it. Not
You're-
What's
Roberto.
crazy though?
You're going
this is
to-
in Florida, no?
You're going
was
to
a 5
Arkham
years.
Asylum,
Crazy.
nigga. You're out of here, nigga. What the fuck, bro? You're not going back to the. I'm gonna catch you at the YMCA playing basketball later. Like, no.
I don't think
I
Melly
got
about to be at the
hooping
YMCA, bro. No
Facts.
bullshit.
That's Melvin.
Melvin might be.
Yeah, bro, but that's good. That's what you want.
Facts.
You want
Damn.
Melvin. Melvin's cooling. It's Melly that you got to look out for.
Yo, Melvin get a text. Yo, you foul that nigga the wrong way. Like, it's snap right back to Melvin.
Well, that's why I'm on that nigga's team, bro.
Facts.
Yo.
That's my guy.
Until you miss a shot, nigga about to get a triple double. He passed to you. You missed it.
He's the point guard.
Now you tell you the truth.
Nah, I'm pass back.
He facilitates.
Oh,
Oh,
my
he's a
goodness.
shooting guard. Yeah, he's
Oh,
a
he
shooting
definitely a shooting guard.
Okay. Oh man, that's bad.
Niggas is jokes.
Nigga, don't miss.
Niggas is jokes, man. Sorry, you don't really be on the internet.
I don't.
Why is that?
That's actually very good.
I like to control as much as possible what I consume. Honestly, like I think social media for me, it don't be working out for me.
Do you feel like you ever
Good.
miss out though?
I just don't care enough. I think,
Not for
like
you.
to be honest, like I feel like I have
That's
so
real.
much going on, or I try to just keep busy. It's just like, of course, with my friends, like I try to keep up as much as possible to support and everything. But in terms of just like other people's bullshit, what they be posting, it's
Yeah.
just like, bro, I have no capacity for this. Like, I just want to be as present as possible, and I feel like social media takes me out of that. So I just try to limit myself.
I agree.
Yeah,
If
Yeah,
it wasn't
social media is cursed.
it's so bad.
if it wasn't for the fact that like we needed to like help elevate the things we're doing, like obviously you got dope art pieces, it'd be a shame not to share that to as many people as
He's
possible.
capping.
So you
I was
kind of
about to
have
say,
He
to.
knows that he's like no matter what you'd be on social media. Because what you're describing, you still post.
I wouldn't
You feel me? You
use
still
it
like
like
use
that,
it
bro.
as like
Yeah.
a tool. But
I
that's
would-
not.
you
But
would
that's
not
not why you be on
You would
social
not see
media.
me
though.
as often.
Bro,
Nigga,
you just
bro,
post-
your Twitter
You
chat
even
history,
drop.
bro, is absurd, bro. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
But
I'm
You
telling
just
you,
talk
I'm
about
telling you all
reading
that.
academics threads, bro. You don't even what?
It hopped on my timeline. What can I say?
Yeah, because you're on your time. You wasn't you was on your timeline.
bro. I don't spend. I promise you. You can see my activity for the week, bro. It really wasn't that active, bro. I like from 9, like whenever I'm working,
bro, oh
bro.
God, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday we were shooting a video, bro. The whole time, bro, we shooting the video. This nigga finds a chair, bro. He's sitting down. He's scrolling on his phone.
I wasn't on social media. I'll
But
tell you that.
What was you doing?
So,
I was on Reddit.
that's social
Nigga,
media.
that is social
Nigga,
media, bro.
that's social
What are you
media still.
talking about?
It's a little different.
It's still considered
No, it's
social media.
not.
It's information I'm reading, bro.
Nigga, all of it is
Everything's
information.
It's not know somebody's bullshit. Though.
It's
Like,
still
I
information.
feel what she was talking about. Like, I don't need to watch somebody's story, but like I might come across some information. They might have changed.
That's
law. I
literally
don't
what
know.
social media is for.
Yeah.
To transfer information between each other in
I
a quick
feel
and
you.
instant way.
But I
Socially.
told y'all about this app, bro. I have this app. It's called Opal. And then from like 8 to 5, I can't open any social media apps. It will not let me do nothing.
Unless you delete the app, nigga.
No,
Nigga,
even
but
if
you don't
you
even have,
delete
but you
it,
have
bro.
Reddit in there.
What you mean
No.
if you delete
Put
it?
Reddit in there.
But
What you
Reddit's
mean
not
if
my
you
Yes.
Twitter,
Put Reddit
Instagram,
in there,
all that.
bro.
Like I don't
Bro, you gotta put Reddit in there, bro.
know, bro.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Bro, you gotta
You're-
look at
you're
my
talking about-
communities,
you're-
bro. Like
you're-
I'm in good communities.
You're trying to
Like, I'm-
alter
this
what
nigga's
social media
justified.
it means to you, and it's like, nah, bro. It's just a blanket term for all of those apps that you're using. Like people be like, oh, TikTok's not social media. Yes, it is,
Yeah.
bro. Like it's
TikTok's
all-
like the
TikTok.
epitome of social media, no bullshit.
But I'm saying a lot of people wouldn't consider TikTok social media because they're like, oh, it's not like it's my feed. All it is me. I'm not like reading anyone else's thing or
Well, I'm
whatever.
not-
It's not Facebook.
I'm not
It's
gonna add
Twitter.
YouTube. YouTube's technically a social media. I'm not gonna add it to it.
Put it on there.
No.
See,
I learned good shit on YouTube. Like I don't have that feeling. I'm not saying just a blanket term like fuck all social media, but the ones that do make you like waste time just scrolling through where you leave the activity feeling like what did I gain from
Yeah.
that? You know what? Like y'all just took energy from me. I look back fucking
gained
20
something
minutes
from Twitter
later, bro.
every day.
You know, I
What?
just remember. I feel like she takes it even more extreme. She had a thing. She bought.
Whoa.
She's
You
like,
can
"Yo,
say it,
bro."
you can say it.
I can say it?
Yeah, it don't matter.
She bought a box.
Okay,
to
let
put
me
your phone
explain
in.
it.
She can put her phone in,
Yeah.
and like it locks.
Oh, she got no self-control, bro.
Because I think that's
That's
important.
valid.
No,
Like,
I'm just saying like.
you
I'm
was
not
clowning
like-
me for
I
what
wasn't
you
clowning
mean.
you. I was more so like you spent money on it.
yeah,
Like-
bro. I'm
like,
Like, you could have
30
easily
of
just
them, bro.
left your phone downstairs
Yeah,
and
like-
does the same thing.
Okay,
but like, that's
but
one part
like
I was
willpower.
Nah.
And it locks with like a timer.
It's different though.
Yeah.
So like,
Here's the thing,
what
bro.
if somebody's trying to hit you and it's really important?
It's not going. This
Not
that
See it
important.
That's what
after?
I'm saying. That's the reason why it's different though, is because it prevents you from being able to like have access to the device. It's not about like the concept like of like control. It's about the device itself. It's preventing you from being able to have access to the device overall, no matter what the circumstances, emergencies. Like it doesn't matter.
Even in emergencies, like damn, you gotta reach me by a pigeon.
My only point about it was just I don't feel you have to spend money on it. That was my only point. She could have gave it to her roommate and be like, yo, no matter what, don't give me my phone unless maybe my mom's just calling me. That's an exception.
I spend money on how you doing exceptions?
Yeah. Your mother's not an exception?
No. Not if I'm putting in. It's the whole premise. That's what I mean.
Real D&D.
Now, if it's a person, you leave too many variables. The person gonna be like, oh, I seen it with your mom. So.
Wait. I do need to know. How does this box work?
Okay.
Like, what if there's a fire? Like,
a fire?
Do you open the box?
No, it's like you set a time and it locks.
You got the one with the charger inside?
No, you can put a charger in while it's in the box.
Yeah, some of them are like portable. They also have the wireless charger in there, so you're charging your phone while you're like not having access.
But I can charge it while I don't have access. But yeah, so I got that. But I also wanted to say that it also depends on how you navigate social media. Because I think like for me, I try not to follow everybody that I don't really care what they're posting, right? So I'm only following people that I want to like follow.
You want to see their content.
I say but what? She's saying content.
You see how you like
no, bro. I know you, bro. Like, there's a lot of people you follow, bro. Because visually, you want to see what they're sharing. You don't care about what they're sharing.
We literally made a clip off of
it last week.
What? Shut up. Post more pictures. We literally have a whole clip.
That was a Threads joke, bro. Like.
But it's true though.
No, hold on.
Those same people you follow on Instagram, you don't follow on Twitter.
I agree with
what she's saying is different from what you're saying.
On Instagram,
you feel what she's
anybody
saying.
I follow, bro, if I ever was like, yo, I have not liked the last 3 of your stuff, like, I probably shouldn't follow you. Like, I'm going to unfollow you now. That's what I do. Unless, like, your family, you got to reach out to, or, like, we have a connection. But, like, no, I'm not following you just to follow back or some shit.
No. She's taking it even further. She's saying, like, if I actually, like, I don't want to say like I'm impressed by a concept. Like, well, how would you describe it? If it's an artist, it's like, yo, I support their art and I want to make sure that, you know, I'm engaged with what they're doing. I'm keeping up to date with it, whatever. Versus you're just like, you know, I like this way this person dresses. I like how they look. So that's what you were saying last week.
Facts.
Wait.
That is what you were saying, bro.
Bro, what?
Almost
I
word for
know
word.
these people, bro.
I'm not saying you don't know them, bro. But you don't gain anything from what they're actually sharing.
What? I have to gain some? What?
You don't.
I don't get the
Which is why he said, hence, shut up and just post your pictures.
Oh, I didn't say that.
You said that.
You said that. He said that. He's literally putting these words in my mouth.
I did not say shut up and just post your pictures.
Nigga, you were trying to mimic me, so you said something I never said, bro.
Bro, no, I did not. He said
say
that.
on Dead Dog.
Bro, you said put it on Dead Dog. You said
on Dead Dogs, bro. He said that. And I said, no. I was like, that's fucked up.
Nigga.
I want to hear if you shut up. Post one picture.
Nigga,
He
never said that. He never said that.
He did before we started recording.
No, you try to say essentially he said this.
Bro,
I
he
never
actually
said
in
that.
4K, bro.
No, repeat what he said.
Put it on your Dead Dogs,
That's not
bro.
what I said.
He
Yo,
didn't
Nate,
say
what did
that.
I say? What did I say, Nate?
Man.
You were describing like the people that you follow. You're like, they look good.
I said the people
But
I
I don't
follow
like-
on Instagram aren't necessarily the people I would want to follow on a text-based app like Threads.
And then you
that applies to a
you
lot
look
of
good.
people.
I don't want to hear from you. And then you said, yeah. And then you said this. You didn't say that though. You said that.
Damn.
You want to hear it again?
Like, play it again. Like, we might not have heard it first.
Don't want to hear if you shut up. Post one picture.
Nigga, that is you. I'm right next to you.
You know what? It's whatever.
I did want to spin back and ask
It's
though,
whatever.
like us being in the technology era and like social media era, how important do you feel like it is to post your process and things like that? And like, do you feel a need to post? Because you don't post your process often, but I have seen like time-lapse videos of you painting. And so like, when do you choose to share these things?
I think I'm still trying to find the balance. I think what's interesting about social media for me right now is the idea that we have to post our process in order to get an audience or engagement, and that's kind of like what you should focus on
out of
every day.
everything.
I can't do that. I'm not that type of person. That's too much for me. I don't know. What I think though is there's so many other ways you can get audiences and have people engage. You could come in real life to events and vend. Even if you don't have a social media, you could make a freaking email news feed list. What do you call that?
Newsletter.
Yep, newsletter. And like those are other ways. You don't really need social media if you really it just helps. It helps in terms of like reaching people because that's what
When
people use most, right?
If you need to make an announcement, it's like these are all the people that have gathered and they are interested in what I do. So,
but there's also so many other platforms to use. So I don't know. I think like I'm not into that like post everyday thing. Like I respect people who do. That's a lot of work. But I think even with like newsletters, like I'm talking to people who directly want to know my process and like have intentionally signed up for it. Like those are the people that I want to like connect with and engage with, not somebody that's just gonna like my post. Like I don't know, I feel like that don't mean a lot to me.
It's so funny. We were just talking about that when we were thinking about like social entrepreneurship and how like artists make money off of their music and how artists make money off of like anything that they do like artistically. It's like in order to truly like build like a solid fan base, you have to first like get your stuff out there, and like that is up to you how you choose to do it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like you choose the platform by which you like choose to like showcase your art. And that can be events. That can be like all these different things you're describing. But like we mentioned before, with music artists, a lot of time dudes is posting on social media snippets or whatever, posting on like, you know, streaming platforms, but then they're not like, that's not translating to shows. I mean, you come to see them perform and it's like, I'm not impressed. Yeah. And it's like, well, now you don't have any fans. You feel me? Because the people that might have like maybe believed in you before, they don't need more because you're not showcasing like your art in a way that's meaningful for them. It's just like something I can listen to, sure. But I can listen to anything. Why would I listen to you? You feel me?
Yeah.
Like there's no value to it because you're not assessing the value of yourself and really like working towards that. I feel you. It's definitely a tough world, you feel me? Like as an artist, but honestly, like I feel like if less artists focused on social media, I feel like social media for artists might be a more unique platform. Because if everyone's using it, it's like how unique can you or how much can you really stand out? You feel me?
Like I feel like it gets watered down. I feel like it gets just oversaturated. That's even a better word. And I don't know, like I'll be scrolling down my feed and I love to see everybody doing their thing, but then it's just like, okay, like I just feel like everybody's doing something.
Now you're comparing yourself to them and it's like, oh, I better do something with my day or some shit.
Yeah, and like that also gets into your mind. So I just try to stay away from like being on social media. I also like even with people that I follow, like I have an art page specifically, and I think the way that I wanted to go about it is that I would just follow other creatives and I'm not going to follow somebody that's just like posting selfies, like and using like Instagram in that way. Then it's like either like, or if I do,
are you using like Instagram
muted, you know?
more like Pinterest?
Not so much because I don't really, I only follow like people I know in person or like that are working within like Boston or in the community, and like mostly just to stay updated with their projects and stuff. But I use Pinterest for like more like inspiration, mood board stuff. So like I have that kind of separate.
I see. Yeah. Is that why you deactivated your personal page? I remember you did have 2 pages.
Yeah, so that was something I was trying to figure out because I just felt like 2 pages was a lot. And like, I also think like it came down to
talking to the king of pages right here.
It came down to like.
That's a cap. You got 3.
Nigga turned Italian. That's a cap.
Yo, now you good? It comes down to intention. I feel like, I don't know, like I'm not too big on like caring about having like a personal page where I just post selfies and stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just not me. Like, I'd rather have people like know me for my work, you know? So, yeah.
I thought this nigga got like 5.
Nah, you gassing it, bro. I got my page closed by Tomo and I got the KBK page.
4K, 1080p.
Bro, them shits is gone.
Oh, okay.
Them shits is gone.
At one time, you had a little rotation going.
Nigga, you probably got the same amount of pages as him now.
No bullshit. You got mad pages, bro. You got burners too, nigga.
No, I don't. This nigga literally comes on this podcast to lie.
Nigga, I know you got burners, bro.
Misinformation. No,
Let me ask you a question. On the burner. Let me ask you a question.
On dogs, nigga. On dogs, nigga.
You want me to air out which one?
Don't do that.
Wait, yes or no? I didn't know this.
I didn't know this. He got burned.
Like, he got quiet. Yes or no?
Yo,
do you want to air you out?
I don't know what he's going to say because I literally don't.
Keep it above.
Nah, because now he's saying he got evidence.
We call everybody out today. Let me hear it.
Oh my God.
Melly, I don't know, but Melly got off. So you might be able to
I'm going to keep it quiet, bro.
What up?
Nah, it's smooth, bro.
What up?
It's smooth, bro.
Nigga think I run fucking New England hip hop or some shit.
Probably do.
Say it.
Bro, nah.
Say it, bro.
Nah.
Because you're cap.
Hey, bro, if that's what you believe.
You're cap.
He's gonna show as soon as this podcast is over, he's gonna show me. I'm like, damn, you got like 3.
Bro.
You run KD Trey 5? It was you all along.
I run the 3 that make sense. That's it.
So you have the same amount of accounts as him.
3. What's the third one?
I got a corporate one. I got.
Oh, shit, I wasn't supposed to say the shit.
It was just blank it out.
I feel you.
But after that, I don't know what you're talking about, my G.
Is your Reddit account under you, or is it like a personality?
No, it's not. It's
Nigga, I hope nobody does that with their Reddit, nigga.
Bro, I seen your Reddit, nigga.
What? What are people?
I see your Reddit. It's not your name.
It's just a
right
general
now.
question.
It's not your name.
It's a genuine question.
That's what he's asking you. He's like, is it your name?
No,
or is it something?
I
It's
thought you
not. It's
said
not
like
your
you
name.
looked at it like I know what this is.
Nah, I've seen some of the stuff that you posted music and shit. It's not your music though. You posted my music one time, so I know your name on
okay,
there.
I did that. Yeah.
But it's not your name.
Pull up your Instagram right now. Open the account.
It's a personality.
It's a personality. It's not a personality. It's not him.
But
Bro.
the thing is, I feel like he types different. He talks
But I don't think it's the Instagram burner that you have. I think it's a Twitter burner.
Niggas
Nah,
already
go to
don't talk
Twitter.
how they do at the podcast.
No bullshit. Sound a little more sophisticated. But while he's doing that, we do want to make sure that we're, also having like the idea. We wanted to like interview you and like bring you on. But we also have some gifts that were donated to us to give to you from Newbury Comics. So, it's a partnership that we established where they're gonna be for select guests, like a couple times a month. We have like, we send them over like, fun facts about you as like an artist that, folks from us know. We got the inside scoop from Yves, you know what I mean?
Hey.
Our, detective over here. And then like we give it to them and then they give us stuff. So we have like a box.
Oh,
Man,
snap.
shout out to the people over at Newbury Comics.
That's
You're getting the
fire.
first one.
Oh,
This is the first gift
There
box.
you go.
I wish the box kind of looked nicer.
Nah, yeah, I think we were supposed to put it in the
Probably
bag.
should've.
Okay, so
He gave us like a bag. We
they're
supposed to
like
put it inside the bag,
curated
but
for
we
me?
folded.
Yeah.
what?
Like,
Well,
So yeah, let us
I didn't
know.
get a chance to
Can you hold
I
it?
didn't
Can
get
you
a
hold
chance
it
to-
on?
Let us know Alright. So let us know what we
Go
got in
ahead and
store
pick
for you
up what you
today,
want.
man.
Oh,
By one.
snap. Okay, I'm
Show it to the
excited.
camera.
Okay, we'll start with this.
What's that? Let me see what that is. I don't know what some of the stuff is myself.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you want us to put the stuff inside that bag.
Oh, that makes sense. So we just got the bag. Okay, thank you. Okay.
More of it.
Yeah, we should have did that.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Shout out Newbury Comics. The Newbury Comics.
Wait,
bag.
was that the bag we were supposed to put the stuff in?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah,
that makes
facts.
sense.
Hey, bro, it's the first time for
Hey, mind you,
everything.
we didn't even get one of these yet.
Facts?
One of what?
A box.
Oh, that's drip.
Let me see.
A little.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
crew neck.
Crew neck
Yeah.
sweater, too.
Wait.
I need that.
Did we ask for sizes?
Yeah. But no,
It's
like,
a medium.
It look like
You-
it fit,
That's
though.
You
it.
took this
That's
up.
it, facts.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta know.
What's this? This is
I think it's another one.
Some tie-dye drip.
oh,
Little
they
tie-dye.
getting their branding
Yes,
up
sir.
for sure.
Hey.
for
They
real.
make sure that you're locked in.
You're gonna be a walking
What do you
logo
do,
for
a gift
us.
card too?
Damn.
A gift card.
I got like mad stickers.
Stickers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pride Month.
Let me get
Facts.
What's on you?
That's probably one.
Ooh, a $25 gift card.
That's fine.
Racks.
Use
That's
that.
fine. That moolah. That gooda.
Oh, they gave me more bags.
Oh, that's fire. Good tote. What's it say on the bag?
It says a wicked good soap.
That's a real
I'm
Boston
doing-
activity right
There you
there.
go.
No bullshit.
Ooh, that's nice. You gonna get there though.
Ooh.
What's this one?
Mad totes. Bullshit.
Yeah, it is locked.
Newbury Comics.
Yeah, let me go.
Tote bag.
That's three.
Limited edition of one.
Whoa, nigga, I'm stealing this.
Cool it, bro. Relax, bro.
Limited
Cool it,
edition.
cool
Oh,
it.
there's a few. Hold on.
Stop hating, bro. Cool it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some vinyls here.
So yeah.
Damn.
This is the crack.
So we have Freddie Gibbs.
Mad
Lib
Lib
and
album.
Madlib.
What?
You know what I
That's
mean?
fine.
That's-
Oh
yeah,
my
right, I was about
God. Stop, because I'll cry right now.
So he's
Jay Dilla. What does
He's
Jay
let us
Dilla
know.
mean to you?
Jay
Yeah.
Dilla. Whoa. Oh my God. I think, I listen to him a lot when I create music.
Look how happy you
And
are.
I know,
She's teasing
I'm
ear to
teasing
ear.
and everything. So I took this class in college that was about Jay Dilla's life. And I don't know, I just
Wow.
feel, it was amazing. It was like a 6-week course. I met his uncle. It was
That's fire.
cool. I
That's
met
fire.
Pete Rock, bro.
Oh, that's
like,
fire.
that shit was crazy.
That's real hip hop.
Yo,
Okay.
I was like, yo.
That's dope.
And I don't know, I just like read this book about his life. And I feel like I like connect to his story a bit in terms of like he was really going through like towards like an engineering path and stuff. And
Mhm.
and before I wanted to be an artist, I wanted to be like an aerospace engineer, and I was really into science and shit.
Yeah.
So it was just like cool how I feel like his mind worked with that, but also contributed to his art, and that's how I feel
Mhm.
like that helps me a lot. But yo, Jay Dilla's just fire.
That's-
Like I could listen to his
oh.
instrumentals all
Yeah.
day with any project I'm working on. I think he's a big influence.
Do you have
That's fire.
what's it called? Like a vinyl player?
I used to, but now I have to get one.
Now you got it back, right? Now you got
And so Yves let us know, like, you know, you hearkening back to like kind of what you mentioned before, you know, the Body Keep Score is one of the inspirations. But I know like another one of the big inspirations was the Kendrick's most recent album that came out, right? Mr. Morale and the Big
And
Steppers.
we have it here.
So, you know.
Oh, and we got
Yo.
Mr. Morale.
Yo,
Nah, that's.
We already
I
made sure
like
to
this
find
segment
out.
right here. This might be my favorite.
never saw the
segment.
back
That's
cover.
real
that
Yeah, the
dope.
back
show's
cover's cool.
fire.
That's dope. I never saw that one.
That's
so-
amazing.
Can you give us like a little insight as to like how this album kind of like influenced your
Yeah.
creations for the gallery?
Yeah, for sure.
I think rightfully so. Shout out to Navy Blue too.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Navy
Yeah,
Blue.
facts.
He was okay. Yeah, so it was Kendrick Lamar and Navy Blue that were two really big inspirations for the project. And in regards to Kendrick's influence, like that latest project was all about grief. You know,
Mhm.
United in Grief. Like
Yeah.
that was one of the tracks. You know, so like, I remember just listening to that project full through for the first time, and just when I listen to albums full through, like I'm like laying on my bed looking at the ceiling. You
Mhm.
know, just listening.
Same, okay.
Yeah, and like just listening to the story and concepts, and he's super intentional as an artist. That's why I fuck with Kendrick, you know. And so I'm just listening to that, and also with like reading the book and also listening to like Navy Blue, I was like, I found repeating like concepts that kept popping up, and then I just like, you know, kind of connected it all together, and that's kind of how I formed like the main idea of the project. But yeah, that album was amazing.
How does that rank? We always talk about like we start getting into debates when we start ranking our Kendrick albums. How does it rank for you?
Ooh. I don't know.
We gotta put you on the hot
Oh
seat.
yeah, that's hard. To be honest, I feel like I haven't listened to his other projects full through as much as this one. So I just have to put this
Like,
one
this
first
gotta
because
be
I
up,
know
Yeah.
more about it, you know, to be transparent. But yeah, I just really like this because at the time and what I was going through, it just like aligned. So I was just like,
Right.
yeah. And I kind of did a deep dive in that. So
No, that's
Sure.
amazing that we. Yeah, no. Shout out to Newbury Comics.
yeah.
Shout out to Yves. You know,
Yeah,
with the
thanks,
detective
Yves.
skills,
You know what I'm saying?
knowing our
Yeah,
guests well. Nah, that's amazing. That's amazing, and thank you for even taking the time to sit with us and just
They
like.
ain't even shout me out. All right.
Shout out to Nate for
I know what that's
plugging us.
plug, bro.
I know
You
what
gotta
that
shout out the
button is.
plug.
Shout out to the plug.
Wait, Nick, can you explain like the Newbury Comics? Like, is it they're
Yeah.
sponsoring the podcast?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Newbury Comics is like one of our sponsors for the podcast. We're gonna be doing, you know, giveaways and stuff like this with them for priority guests, and we're also going to be doing some stuff. You know, he's a priority guest, and he said, "Yeah, now we got some infighting going on."
Nah.
He's like, "Cause some guests not gonna get it.
Guess
Some
who was
guests they
thinking
gonna be like,
that?
I'm not a priority guest."
Yeah,
Cause like, for
you're
some-
not. No, you're not. You're not.
Because it's like a
that's
difference,
what
you
it
feel me?
means. Like,
On some instances, we're doing like very like strict like guest host, you know, appearances. For those, it'll be different. But when we're doing like more like guest host split with interviews, it'll be a little different. Yeah, so they're sponsoring the podcast by donating some, you know, some items that are directly related to the artist or the person that we have on as a guest. And then they're also going to allow us to continue to like promote our brand by doing like Instagram live takeovers when we do live. So
yeah, we
wanna
gotta do that soon.
That's
yeah,
dope.
facts. So anytime we have like an event
Yeah,
coming up,
facts,
or if we
bro.
have anything that's very particular based on, you know, a specific guest that we want to like interview, or like someone that maybe we want to just talk to, and we want to amplify their platform along with ours, then we can have control over their Instagram live for the time. So
That's
it's pretty cool. So shout out to them. You know what I mean? Shout out to Newbury
thank you.
Comics.
Drop a
for
bomb
allowing
for
us to do
Newbury
that.
Comics, man.
If you don't get a Newbury Comics package, you're at least gonna get you some Yerba Mate. You feel me? So,
Facts.
Nah,
You're
man,
amazing.
you don't leave with something. You don't leave with something.
You know?
Sirski.
But yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, you know,
well,
thank you for just being a part of like this
Yeah.
experience. And I mean,
yeah.
like, or like, you know, next time we'll put this stuff in the gallery. So, you know what I mean?
I appreciate you guys for having me. You know, I respect all of y'all, and thanks Yves for like actually making it happen, because I
Yeah.
know we was talking about it for a bit. But yeah, I appreciate y'all and love what y'all do. So shout out to you
Nah,
guys.
this been super dope to even like, you know, talk on the visual artist side of things. I know there were like complaints that we're not covering enough of the art scene around here. So it's like, especially when it happened
that.
right here in NOSA Boston, where you had your gallery.
Yeah.
So it
Shout out
all
NOSA.
made sense. It's a full circle moment right here. So it's
For
super
sure.
dope.
Guys, we gotta get like the NOSA like logo so we can put it on the video, so we don't have to like mention every time.
Yeah.
Because every week I'm gonna forget.
Yeah, facts. Just shout out
Too
to
many
all our
sponsors.
sponsors. NOSA, Diaspora Mask,
Tomo,
Yerba
Tomo,
Mate, Tomo Chico, Newbury Comics.
Look at us, man. We getting the list.
That's
I
fire.
don't know
Shout
if
out
the
to
bosses
y'all.
like hear that and be like, nigga, I didn't want just one line, bro. You gotta give me a little bit of something on top of that. You know?
Hey, Newbury
Well-
Comics got a whole segment. You
Facts.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Amen.
Be like, what's Newbury? That's the.
That might be the outro right there. God
Woo,
damn.
that's a good segment.
Is there anything you want to tell to the people? This is, you remember when you were saying like, do I look at the camera? Do I look at y'all?
Oh, this is the time
This
I
is the
look-
time to look at the
Ooh.
camera and let them know where they can find you, what you're working on,
For
just whatever you
sure,
want to
for
leave them.
sure.
Or if there's even words of like
Words for the community.
words for the
Words for the
community, you know?
Okay. What's up, y'all? I'm gonna just introduce myself
Yeah,
again.
do it again. Do what you gotta do.
What's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in on this episode of the podcast. It's Tori, also known as 13Vic. You can find me on Instagram, solely on Instagram at 13Vic Archive. I also have a website if you want to check that out. That's 13vic.com, you know. And what I'm working on right now, I'm just thinking about my next steps and finding opportunities to sponsor my next idea. But it's definitely going to be along the lines of some clothing, some fashion, getting back into that. Hopefully have a collab with Tomo.
Yes,
It's
facts.
been a
We
few
was
months.
been- Yo, no bullshit. We been supposed to work on some shit.
So that's definitely going to
That's right.
happen.
Hey.
I think that'll be iconic. No bullshit.
Yeah, well,
It will
Um,
be. A little collection.
Yeah,
Might have to make that happen.
right?
Yeah.
the timing is right, especially because like the things that we've done in the recent like months and like year, you feel me? So like,
Yeah, I'm excited. I already have ideas for that.
Shut up.
So stay tuned for
Bring the
that.
goblin to life.
Yeah.
You know?
And
Yeah.
also, I guess my words for the community is to I would say be kind to people. A lot of people go through a lot of things, you know.
You
I
never
think
know.
that's super important. And also just focus on yourself. Like just make sure you're taking care of your needs, taking care of your health, mentally, physically, emotionally. And I think, you'll be good with that.
That's some good words for
Yeah.
the community. That's real. Hey
Real
man,
shit.
it's bad for the community, but we really good for the community. I appreciate you, Tori. We all appreciate you, Tori.
Thank you.
And if you try to reach out to her and she doesn't respond back, it's either because she's too big or her phone's locked inside of a box. It's nothing personal. Don't take it
True.
personal.
Facts.
Yeah, if you made it this far in the video, if you
You gotta
comment
comment.
Dion. That's all I gotta say.